rings that go around the eye, okay, are called nerve rings or cramp rings, and they're due to a chronic issue with the autonomic nervous system, often due to weak adrenals. Okay, these are common in people who have conditions like chronic fatigue, MS, and Parkinson's. You will see these rings going round and round. Okay, you can detox it by fixing the adrenals and the kidneys, and it should clear up away. Right here you can see chronic pituitary glands, okay, and right you can see chronic pineal glands. Pineal gland is what controls sleep. Pituitary gland is what controls all the other endocrine glands, like the thyroid, parathyroid, pineal gland. All is controlled by the pituitary gland. It should be detoxed. All this region right here are the sinuses, okay, starting from the forehead, eyes, upper jaw, lower jaw, okay, all the sinuses, heavy congestion. You can see the darkness over there. It's going to the chronic side. Right here is the parathyroid, okay, and beside it is the thyroid. You can see it's also dark to the chronic side. The thyroid, if it's not working properly, you will see a skin ring. As you can see, the dark color around the pupil, that's a skin ring. It indicates that you're not sweating properly, or your metabolic rate is not sufficient. It should be cleaned up. So use a thyroid tincture. Right here is the voice box and the vocal cords. Right here is the esophagus region, and right here is the scapula. In fact, this is the entire throat region. It's quite congestive lymph. Okay. This region right here is the upper back region, and right here is the middle back region, and right here, the dark region right here is the lower back. It's quite congestive lymph. You have nerve rings going across it. Here's the spine, also quite congestive lymph. Right here is the bladder region. You can see it's dark side, and right here is the uterus region and the vagina region, quite congestive lymph. This dark spot right here, that's the kidneys and adrenals. Remember I said when your adrenals are chronic, you're going to have nerve rings, and here are the chronic adrenals. You can see how dark it is. So you should adjust adrenals. Use adrenal tincture, use an adrenal glandula, and fix the kidneys as well, okay, to help the adrenals get better. Right here is the ovaries and pancreas region. You see it's quite congestive lymph. Right here is the liver and gallbladder region. You see also quite congested. The liver is responsible for chemical transmutation, okay, so it should be addressed. This dark spot right here points right to the chest region, okay, and you can see it's the chronic side. It should be addressed. This could be potential injury, the dark spot there, or crypt, which means there's inefficient blood flow and lymph flow in and out of the cells. It should be cleaned up. Right here is the lower and upper lung region. Okay, right here is the chest region, the rib cage section. All heavy with lymph, stagnation, congestion. Right here are the shoulders and neck region. You can see it's quite heavy with lymph. Right here is the mastoid medulla and cerebellum, also quite heavy with lymph as well. In fact, the whole eye has very heavy lymph congestion. When you see the yellow, green like this, and then brown, the brown is chronic. The yellow and the green is subacute, so it's moving to the chronic side. It should be addressed. You also actually have something called a lymph rosary. See those dots going around the eyes, the white dots? That indicates your lymph nodes are not filtering properly or not working properly, swelling perhaps, and should be addressed. The main pressing issue about this eye are the bowels. The bowels are chronic. The ascending colon here is chronic, the transverse colon is chronic, and the descending colon is chronic, and the bowels are actually spastic, which means that there might be fecal matter in between, stuck in the bowel system. So you also have a slight cholesterol ring. That purple hue around the eye indicates that the cholesterol is high in the body. Body use cholesterol to bind to acids. So very pressing, adjust the adrenals and kidneys, very important. Clean the bowels up, use GI cleaner, clean the brains up. All here is the brain section. You actually have radii solaris, those fine lines leaching out of the pupil to other body parts and glands, and especially it's very prominent in the brain section, okay, so this should be cleared up. Use brain and nerve 2, upper circulation as well. Okay, the whole eye needs work, the whole body needs work, so 100% fruit diet, 20-30 day grape belly diet with the herbs, the Fab 5, brain and nerve 2, upper circulation, use a thyroid tincture, address the adrenal tincture, adrenal glandula, and things should clear up nicely.